time I play in love. I'm a damn. It's a long walk here, my friend. Not sure I'll ever reach the end. Swimming in shit, but that's okay. My mama said it's the only way. So fucked up about what you said, what you did, and really feel like shit. Your mirror's burning like a cigarette. Can't stop smoking while I take a hit. I can 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 take a hit.
Welcome to the Every.Thing.After podcast. I am Rob, and I'm here with Brett Potts of the SlowGrooveKings, a smoky, hypnotic, Southern soul dive bar drama band. I love how you described describe the band. Uh, a self-described Southern Gothic soul band that plays with equal parts sermon and seance. I love all the descriptiveness behind this. And of course, I saw Brett and the Slow Groove Kings here a few weeks back playing at the Winchester in Cleveland, and they have an EP that's just released, I think, this week. You played a record release show at Mahal's in Cleveland, another place I'm quite familiar with, been there several times. Pretty cool place to play a show. Yeah, I mean, I'm just so excited to have you on the show to talk about it all.
Pumped to be here, dude.
Cool. Tell me about the band and how you got together and everything. It really is an interesting vibe that you've put together here. Introduce me and the listeners to what you got going on with the Slow Groove Kings.
Man, I mean, I think there's no sort of recipe to get together a band. You know, first of all, I think this is my favorite band in the whole world. I love these dudes. Obviously, my old lady sings with us too. But I love these guys, you know, and it's not, you don't just come out of the gate and you assemble the team. It's a lot of trial and error. I mean, yeah, there was parts where I was like, I'm just gonna go back to just me and acoustic, because 2 years ago this was never. It was just me and an acoustic always, and you know, I always try and keep that as the heart of the music as well, as far as writing. And if it doesn't sound good on you and acoustic, you know,
So
you
you
gotta
had a
do a little.
solo project going for a little while,
Yeah,
right?
so I guess you know, it can't start anywhere without, as far as like putting music into the world, without the solo project that's
Hmm.
under my name, Brett Potts, produced and created with Evan Krause. He was huge. He man, you know, there was a lot of slow growth that didn't show up on paper, and when I met that dude and saw his work ethic and the love and the care and the time that he put in, I mean, that was like I had this stuff just inside me forever. You know, it was just ready to go, and I needed a little more help. And he did so much for me. Did that first album, Muddy Water. We actually have another album. It's just sitting there. I'm just waiting to put it out into the world. But you know, I
Yeah,
this
another solo album.
Yeah, we got a full another solo album coming as well. But I'm excited about this. I want to live in this moment right now, and it's nice to. He always says like, sitting on a pile of gold. So it's good to have in the bag. This the whole process teaches you a lot of patience, So yeah, so it was never a band sound. It wasn't when the first album came out that we did together, Muddy Water. It was the first time I said, "Oh, this could be like a whole band." I just always thought it was me and a guitar playing in my closet. Um, and I was like, I got to share this, with other musicians, with other people. What's the point? It's the saddest story ever if it's just me writing music, recording in my bedroom. So yeah, then was like, okay, I think this could be a full band. It's obviously it sounds good. The more you build it up, the more you strip it down. So yeah, it was a slow process to get to what became the Slow Groove Kings. Um, and like I said, Evan Cross was super influential, and he's not playing with us anymore. But we do. I mean, him and I have a great working relationship and friendship that we just. The man's a maniac. He does it all. Um, yeah, and then we actually did our album release at Sacred Waters in Lakewood. This was like a year and a half ago. And our bassist, Chris Nunari, is one of the owners. The week of the album release was like, if you guys need someone to play bass, I love playing bass. And he had played in a bunch of cover bands and stuff. So he learned all the songs we did in like a week. And we actually popped around with some other bassists, but it came, he was always there and we are always in touch with him. And yeah, so our bassist is Chris Nunari. I guess it's a long way, roundabout way to get there. Tim Parnan I met. He's our guitarist. I met him at a gig, just loved his guitar work. It was something I thought was really tasteful and almost like ethereal, a lot of like emotion in what he's doing. And I met him at a gig, I mean, yeah, like a year and a half ago maybe, and I was like, "I love what you're doing." And he was like, "Oh, I love what you guys are doing. You're just not in a hurry and just telling the story and taking your time." And I said, "Hey, if we ever need someone, would you fill in?" And he was like, "Absolutely." And yeah, maybe 8 months later, I called him up, and then as soon as we had one practice, I was like, "This dude's gold."
Yeah, man,
Um,
Tim's great.
yeah, I mean, you just pick up people along the way. Like I always had that mentality, like it's gotta be just you. If you want anything in life, you gotta be willing to just do all of it by yourself. It doesn't mean now I feel like I got the body armor up there. I got the greatest, I don't even want to say support. Like it's our music now. It's not mine, but yeah, I mean, you got to be willing to walk the lonely road to get to it. So
Oh
um
yeah, music's got to start with some self-discovery for sure. I think that's really insightful. So you got Zach Horseman on drums too.
yeah, so Zach and I actually went to high school together. I grew up with the kid. We're never super tight, just different circles, but no, I mean, no sort of animosity ever. And then both went through some really dark times together. We're both sober now, and I met him. I saw him years later, and we were both sober, and he was literally like glowing. And I was like, "Dude, you look so, it's so awesome to see you." And in my head, he was always who I wanted to be drumming with us. He's my favorite drummer in Cleveland, and I mean makes the groove. You start moving, and that's like I can only do so much. A good drummer, everybody's got a little.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
Um,
Makes the dream work.
yeah, so he I mean he's been awesome. Really, the doing the album and when we went down to do it, kind of that was when I was like everybody's on board. We played the same 5 songs for 2 months straight. It's not fun for most people,
Right.
and everyone was all in. So yeah, that was really special. Even can't leave out the old lady, Autumn Skye. She was kind of an accessory as far as I had to, convince her just, sing a little backup on like that, this song. And she had done some studio stuff with me at our place. And
Yeah.
man, now we just played a show without her a few weeks ago, and I'm like, she's like an integral part of our band. She's
Oh,
part of our.
every piece feels like it's integral, though. When I saw you at the Winchester a few weeks back, then you were talking about being engaged and having a wedding coming up, and also having this EP that you're working on. And you talked about it being sort of a slow process getting this band together, getting to where you are today. But man, it sure seems like it's moved fast here recently for you.
Oh, that's how it looks. Whatever you're doing to that, bro. Everybody always thinks, whatever the medium is, people think you don't get famous, you don't get successful overnight. It's like you do it every day for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden you get discovered, and
Right,
you're doing the podcast thing. Somebody's, like somebody wants to get into it when they see you 5 years down the line, and they're like, I want to do this, and it's like, well, you got to do all this stuff before this.
right,
So
right.
certainly a lot of work, self work, shadow work, really, that everybody did on their own, and then we've all done together. I mean, these people have put in the time. Like these guys are special.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the work, man. You got to put the work in, and you guys certainly are putting in the work. Man, I love this EP that you put out, the Nashville Vampire Supper Club. Tell me
This is
about
my
that.
you. We want you to leave full. It's only 5 songs, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this kind of. I'm glad we have a minute to talk about it. So I stayed at an Airbnb 2.5 years ago, maybe. I was getting tattooed down in Nashville. No, I had just gotten my first microphone interface, just started recording stuff in my closet in my old place, like a month before. I almost didn't bring my guitar, and I went down there. We stayed at an Airbnb, which I've always had good luck because I look at you could tell when people care about what they're doing. And yeah, there's this older lady. She's standing by the end of the driveway like this, like pointing to where you should pull down. And they had pictures of turkeys and stuff. It was just a cabin in the woods. So I'm like, well, this is where I want to stay. And I got tattooed. And the last night, I just was like, let me text her because I think this guy's a musician. There's some albums sitting around with this guy with a banjo and the Carter brothers. And she said, if you need me, I'll be in the she shed, and this guy will be in his studio. And so I just sent him roll the dice. You can't be, why not? And I said, hey, I think Tim's a musician. Can we jam, you think? And she's like, yeah, let me open the door that connect the house or the cabin to the little suite where we were staying at for the Airbnb. And this dude's got the coolest studio I've ever seen. I mean, it was straight out of the movies to me. I'd never seen anything like it in person. And I'm like, this is the universe. And I didn't, I was like, this is where I could be in 30 years if I were. This dude just worked and worked and worked and built this place that yeah, Treehouse Studios. His name's Tim Carter. He's the greatest. I hung out with him for an hour or two and just was like, he finally, like, kind of gives me some of his background and people he's worked with and his pedigree. And he's like, yeah, so you want to play me a song? And I'm like, no, dude, I don't want to, like, yeah. So I played him a song, and he played a little bit with me. And then we kind of left it like, I'm going to come back down here and do an album. I'm going to do it. And that was always something in the back of my mind. He was a great person. I'd call him every 6 months or something, just stay in touch and ask, I'm having trouble with this. How are you setting up these mics for this stuff? And man, when we finally got down there and I got to share my friends with him and him with my friends, it was just a magical couple days down there.
It's incredible. Yeah, you recorded in 2 days there, this 5-track EP.
Yeah, it was as much as I record is how I write and what it's my every morning stuff. Everyone else, I think I was the weakest link down there as far as being a little out of my element, not being able to see my own computer screen or having everyone came in and laid it down. Autumn put in an hour and a half of work tops. She was one take for everything. Chris and Black were one take for everything. Tim came back and did all these guitar tracks, and it makes your head spin when you listen to it. It's just like you don't even know what to up and down disappear, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great. I mean, we came there with a mission, and we were gonna do maybe 4 songs, and finally said, "Hey, we got 2 hours. You want to try and get this last one down?" And everyone could have just said, "Yeah, I'm cooked," and I would have been like, "Cool." And they were like, "Let's go. We're here."
Sounds
So
great. I love the sound on it. And I love on Bag of Bones, I think it is, you do a little intro there where you get a little call out to Tim being in his house and stuff. And I love just the feel of that. It feels like a real jam session. It's magical. Like you're in the studio with you guys.
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at him through the window of the booth when I'm like, we kind of talked about it before. I said, "Hey, would you play on this song? It's only a couple chords," and they were diddling him, and Tim were just messing around. And yeah, I mean, I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to tell you what to do. This dude's played banjo all over the world. But yeah, there's a smile on my face when I'm just like, hey, we're at Tim Carter's studio. We're having a good, we're gonna have a good time.
And the banjo sounds so good. And the harmonica on that, I'm super partial to that. You play a little
Oh,
harmonica at the Winchester show too. And yeah, that's my favorite track on there by far. It's all great, but man, I love Bag of Bones. That song is just fire.
that's great to hear, dude. I mean, I love that song so much. It's been in my head for 15 years. One of the first things I could ever remember, and it's been with me through the good and the bad. And as far as the harmonica goes, we might have a little harmonica showing later on since I don't got the rest of the band. But no, that song to me, I didn't really know it was a sad song. I remember showing it to my mom, and I'm so happy. I'm like, look at this. It was coming out. I started working on the album with Evan, and it was just coming out. He just kept saying, "I got one more," and he's like, "Okay." And that song it was so ready to come out. It was like fluent, and you got to really dig for some of them. And that one just, yeah, I'm playing it for my mom, and I'm smiling, and the song ends, and she's just like, I'm so sorry, Brett. I thought I wrote a happy one.
And you describe your music slow burning hymns for the damned. And there's definitely that in it. There's some darkness there for sure that you're working through, that you're kind of like shining some light into. Light and dark. There's a lot of that going on, a lot of that conflict, which is really gripping. But I feel like it picks up though with those last two songs, "Bag of Bones" and then "Let Me Get Away." I think both feel a little more redemptive. I think, even though there's some darkness there, it feels like almost a bit of a weight is lifted at the end of this EP.
You know, it reminded me of something, just what you're saying, and I'm glad that it feels like that because I don't. I think to me that the melancholy, the dark music always was something that moved me, whether I was feeling awful or whether I was feeling good. It always captivated me. I read a quote about courage, and it's not like putting on the armor and going to fight. Like to me, it's always been like fighting the good fight or having is when you're just like, this is what I have in front of me, so I just have to, I could roll over or I could just go through it. And yeah, I mean, I hope there's a optimism that people feel it's it feels like a knockdown, like slugfest, but there's no chance that I don't want to get back up and do it again tomorrow. And I hope people want to hear our music. And man, I gotta hear that again. I want to I want to touch something deeper than just a story.
You got some hooks and these songs. They get in deep, I think. And we talk about on this show a lot music sort of as therapy, and music is not just expression, but a way to look in yourself, express something outward, but also sort of look in. And I get that. I really get that depth from your music. I wonder if you'd share some stories about yourself that are being reflected in some of these songs.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think music is a unique and supreme tool to document, interpret, and process the human condition that it it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. You can't wrap your head around it. You have the. I think songs is something that is just they've always been something that I turn to, even if it's the shittiest time in your life, to look back and say I have this thing, this like tangible thing or audible thing to show for it. Like, um, yeah, I remember listening to the first album, and I guess I'll take it back farther, but something that really, trying to appreciate the ride. And I listened to the first half of the first album that I did with Evan, and it dropped me to my knees, and I started crying on the floor. And it's hard for me to cry. I love it. I wish I could cry every day. Um, but it turns into like laughing, crying. Like I'm so happy that I could feel this emotion. And the reason that I was crying and then laughing and crying is because if you just heard this and you didn't know me or didn't know our story or didn't interact with me in any way, you would think this dude's just getting the shit kicked out of him. He's like, this music sounds like you can hardly go, keep it on in between the lines or on two. And I feel like this stuff has no power over me. I have this song that I make, and then once you put it out and sing it enough, and you can always tap back into that feeling, but all of a sudden you hear it 6 months later, it has no power over you. It's like you just let this thing go that at the time seemed larger than life.
Exercise the demon in a way. Like you just
Yeah, it's it's a
set it out.
yeah, it's like a spiritual cleansing, it's
Yeah.
a taking in this energy and just making something beautiful out of it, which is always, I just want to make the most beautiful music I can, and then you get to share it with people. They don't even have to go through the shit that brought it out. But
Yeah.
they probably have in some way. This is the human condition is timeless.
The allegory of the vampire in this latest EP. I love the artwork on that, by the way. It's just so striking.
This dude, this
Yeah,
little,
that dude. Yeah, love it. That's
I
great.
loved it,
I
especially
gotta,
scary.
I gotta get it on a t-shirt at one point. So,
Oh yeah, I'll save you one. Let me know
all
what
right.
size. Gonna be
Yeah, man.
taking some with us on the trip
Tell me
here
about
coming.
the vampire behind this album.
I think there's something that goes on with songs where you think they're about this thing. You think they're. I never use. I try to take my brain out of it. I just write what's coming out, and sometimes I look and this song I thought was about right now was actually about down the road, or this song that I wrote right now was actually I thought it's about the past, or like so it kind of just comes up and I don't interpret it until I can. The Nashville Vampire Supper Club, I wanted to give an ode to this trip, but really we stayed in an Airbnb down there that reminded me of where like rich vampires would stay. We were able to get a bigger Airbnb, and these people did an amazing job, and everything was like dark, all the trim was black. It was like spooky but bougie at the same time, and we were just, yeah, we thought that was so fun. Like, man, I feel like a rich vampire for 2 days, 3 days. I can't imagine what it would cost to live in a place like that, but
Yeah.
split 6 ways, it was manageable.
Those vampires tend to get rich too because they have all these centuries to like build wealth.
Yeah, you got. I mean, if you didn't get it for the first couple 100 years, you might. But it is. I mean, yeah, and then it just kind of morphed, and of course, it's an allegory. There's something supernatural about music in general that you can't describe where it comes from or how we do this or how you could have this music that you don't even need to understand the words. Just someone on the other side of the world can play a song that can make someone over here cry. They don't have to be present. They could just hear it. I think that the the vampire is like, yeah, the dark and the light, and I mean we're all haunted by similar con yeah, struggles, conditions, our own demons in our own heads, and how that makes us interact with other people.
I mean, I feel the emotion coming out of your music, of your sound, but I wonder if you talk a little bit more about where that sound comes from. You know, it does have that sort of southern soul. It's got a little blues mixed into it. Now you listed some inspirational musicians, Black Keys, feel that for sure. Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, absolutely. Man, they have so much range too. I saw them play with Willie Nelson at Blossom this summer. So tell me about what's really motivated and inspired you to develop this sound that you have.
Um, I mean, I think there's always bands that you're gonna build your catalog, your subconscious collection of your foundation and things that work and things. I mean, Sublime, I always loved. I always that were like the first band. The Weezer, the Blue Album. That was the first time I was like, there's music. You could listen to whatever you want, and there's so much good. Blink 182, and it just keeps evolving. Modest Mouse, and now I try not to listen to anything. I just want to. There's enough sounds that have been in. I just want to pull something out that's us. That's a Slow Groove Kings, and I don't want to replicate anything.
Yeah.
Um, you could always take principles and copy and evolve and trace and replace ideas, but yeah, to be honest, I don't know what the sound is. I had some help writing that because I was having trouble describing what our sound is. Um, I've certainly a guitar has from day one been the single best way to tell a story. I always wrote when I got sober, maybe five, I think just about to be 6 years ago. I started writing every day as a practice and a discipline. And yeah, there's a story that what better way? It's like everyone's got 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then you get to feel good while you hear it. No one has to buy your book. Um, but my
You got a
past is
book in each one of these tracks. You got, if not a book, like a chapter, but like I feel like they're each a book.
I appreciate that. I definitely just in the past few weeks, you always got your head down and blinders on. But my cousin, who I love and has been around my music forever, at 22 or 23, I tried to move down to Austin. I thought I was going to be doing the stuff that we're doing when I didn't have any infrastructure in my life, or I didn't know who I was. I didn't have a consistent job. I just thought I could be a rock star just cause. And I'm not saying I am now, but I'm much more stable and able to put in tiny little steps every day now. So, but he said, my one thing is you just have too many words. You just pick the best ones.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, the more you write, the more you dig, there's a line that I always like in the Let Me Get Away, and it's like, let me step away with you and watch the sun fall. And it's like, I don't know, you could say watch the sunset, but to me, it's just different when
It's
you get
falling.
enough reps and yeah, just a ball of fire coming down out of the sky. How many different ways you can't really say it too many different ways,
Yeah.
but yeah, to me, it's always like the, I want to capture something, but not be too specific because the beauty of music is that you can relate to it and make up all these old writers and poets and stuff. They weren't trying to hide Easter eggs in their stuff. They were just writing. Like, well, English teachers are doing that stuff.
Yeah. But man, you have poetry in your songwriting too. Like it is so visual. I can picture it. Like I can be there in your head, I feel like, with some of this stuff. It's just great stuff.
My
Um
grandma said I have a rich inner life.
yeah,
Shout out, Anita.
yeah.
I,
That's
I
great. And you've
share.
got this vehicle to share that inner life with the rest of us, and I think that's awesome. I'm struck by we're in your studio, which I think is awesome, but
Oh
I'm
yeah, well,
peeking around. So give me a bit of a tour. Is that original artwork behind you there on the wall?
oh that I actually made that in the quarantine. I think you either during that period thought the world was going to end, or to me, I had, uh, I was getting this stipend where I just was like, oh, I get paid the same as I make, and I get to decide what I do all day. And I was a militant, like, I was yoga and disc golf and writing and painting and playing music, and I was like sick. I just got an artist subsidy. I've always wanted something like this,
Wow.
um so yeah, that was probably the last time I was in school. I was in grad school for art therapy and counseling, and feeling a little bit phony about that as far as my place in it, or what I agreed with, kind of like broad ideas or philosophies on something. To me, therapy that isn't always approached in a way that I agree with or think is beneficial to the person, other than, the goal of therapy should be to graduate from therapy. So yeah, stopped, stopped doing the thank God for quarantine. So to me, it's like, man, that was when I just went fully on to I'm not gonna do what I think I should do. I'm gonna do what feels right. And if it comes from a place of like love and kindness, I think the universe will just keep giving you little breadcrumbs once you take the first one.
So I gotta ask you because I saw you live at the Winchester. I felt a little bit deceived because you clean up pretty good, Brett. You guys all showed up in like white dress shirts and slacks, and then you got up and you started playing. I'm like, that is not the sound I expected to come out of you guys. So tell me about that. Is that a thing that you do? Is that how you dress for all your shows, or
Oh
what?
hell no, man! I don't wear a shirt when I will. The only reason I'm wearing a shirt now is to be polite. You know, I'm more comfortable sitting on a sidewalk, sitting on the physical sidewalk, than I am sitting in a nice restaurant. To me, it was, uh, we don't actually, we were doing it some, dressing up, but we got other things now, like we did a cowboy thing. We just try and have fun with it. It's just fun to, I think, for unity and our own entertainment. If you're not entertaining yourself, you're missing out, because it's fun. You always be your own witness. I'm not doing stuff for other people. I'm just like, hey, I think this would be really fun. What do you think we dress up to the nines? And but it's funny
So you
because if you do,
coordinate your outfits before you go. That
if you
you're
do,
all like down for the same thing.
I try and keep it light and have, mess around with the guys, and with Autumn before. I mean, you have to manage a lot of personalities and a lot of anxieties, myself included. I'm a fucking maniac, like sometimes before a show, I'm like, I'm sorry, this is just how I get. I'm just pumped to do what we're doing. Um,
Uh,
but it's funny because to me, I could never, if you told me I had to wear that for a job, I would like, yeah, I would say, see you later. But it's something that it's empowering when you could say, I'm gonna dress up because I feel like it, because it's
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Because I got these clothes and I don't have any weddings this year, and I just want to wear them. Like, I did, but
Glad
no,
one.
there's no sort of there's no smoke and mirrors to it. It's just fun to, you know experiment. And really, I think our outfits for the album release were really fun. It's getting to where it's like, hey, this is what I'm wearing. You could vibe off it if you want. Just look good, feel good, you know,
Yeah.
and try not to look better than you play. That's, I think that show, we maybe looked a little better than we played. So,
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about some of the stuff you got behind you here, though, in your studio.
oh man, I got this. Oh, this is perfect. I got this Slow Groove Kings shirt right here.
Yeah.
We're just selling them at shows right now. I guess if someone messaged me on Instagram, I could set something up. But yeah, that came off a painting that I did for someone. But I mentioned that I tattoo, so to me, the pictorial language is always something that's I gravitated towards.
Yeah.
I think I just got some other tattoo art, um, stuff that friends have made. I got these two old ladies like this. Let me break this over. So I don't know why. I always like the melancholy. So my grandma's still alive and she's the sweetest lady ever, but she moved into a home. So we got to pick out some artwork that we wanted, and these when I was a kid, I don't know why they just always captivated me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't want, I just I just like a sad old lady inside, I guess. I just think they're.
That old lady inside. Oh man.
I don't know why. When I was a little kid, I just always was like, these are amazing. I think
Yeah.
a relative painted this, like probably 60 some years ago.
That's
Second
incredible.
cousin. So yeah, I mean, I just want to be like always surrounded by stuff that makes my eyes pop or makes my heart, like skip a beat. I just think you gotta. There's so much art out in the world. I collect so much of it, whether it's on my skin, on my walls. I wanna hear it all and touch it all and taste it all. And
Let me ask you,
yeah,
Brett, when
I like having it in my space. Like
yeah, when you
I
see
got.
something like that, when you see something that speaks to you like the pictures you just showed me, oh wow, look at that. Yeah, we were just seeing a bit of it. You got a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah,
You
I'm in
see
here every
pictures.
day.
You see
I
pictures of
wanna
those
feel.
old ladies. Do you ever want to just write a story about them? Try to figure out what's going on with them, what's behind their eyes. Feel like you can embody them in some way in some kind of song.
I think they're already in there. We all share the same thing. That's why I think I love it because I'm seeing a piece of a person, it's all a reflection of yourself you see in other people. I think,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I look at that and I'm like, man, that's like, you have that,
Yeah.
like Robert's felt like that for one day, or I felt like that for one day, or
Oh, that's great.
maybe months. Those are the kind of faces to me that you wear for months because you can't break through yet.
That's incredible. That's a great way to think of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I always loved them, and there was nobody else that wanted those. Nobody else was lining up for them, and I was like, I know exactly which paintings I would love to have.
yeah, awesome. So yeah, man, this has been so great talking to you. I feel like it's been therapy for me in a way, just to hear you talk about your music in this way. It's been so insightful and really incredible.
I, I,
Um,
appreciate, I appreciate it, dude. You're a good listener and ask good questions. It's pretty easy to share.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So what's coming up for you guys now? You got an EP out. What are you doing next? Do you have another solo album that's on the shelf that may be coming out?
Yeah.
Sit in this for a little bit. I'm not going to push you too fast or too far out of it because this is a moment you need to sit in, absolutely, because this is a great record that you put out, some great music. So sit in it for a little bit. So tell me what's on the horizon.
So we're actually about to go to Seattle next week. That's on the immediate horizon. Um, another serendipitous, weird moment where a guy saw us play a show in the basement at Happy Dog it was a night of a power outage and a huge event upstairs, and it was just a little basement, just an off night show for us that was, to me, not our best stuff, but you always bring it whether it's 5 people or 100 people. I just want to put on a show. I care too much about it. I don't care who's, it's for us. It's and it's for anyone who's there. It's even more special, I think, if there's only a few people. But yeah, someone saw us and said, "Oh, I know this guy. He's owns a spot out in Seattle. I got to get you guys a show. You got to come to the West Coast." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, let me know." And then he did. So we're like, "Okay, let's go play this place." So we're playing at the Central Saloon, which I understand has a bit of history to it in Seattle, and I'm super excited to, yeah, go out there and share what we got and enjoy the moment and yeah, it's fun to travel with the guys, and the old
That's
lady.
awesome.
It's just like
Are you
it's
road tripping that?
we're sky tripping that.
Okay. I was
Uh,
like, man, that's a commitment.
no,
You're
uh, everyone was down. It's like let's roll the dice. We're in it for the long haul, but we're fortunate, and I'm really fortunate. I'm so grateful for these people in my life. I mean, you talk about therapy. Every Tuesday doesn't matter what's going on when I go. When we get there and everybody's going through stuff in their life, which is so nice to have this thing that we all work on. All of a sudden it melts away and I get to live in what I think is the greatest music ever for like 2, 3 hours every Tuesday. So these could, there's you got a groups that are everybody's a ride or die, so I'm grateful that all these guys too have jobs that are outside or maybe on the fringe of music, but they can afford a trip like this. And it's not that it's easy. Maybe it's easier for some of us. I certainly am not saving money, um, but I want to go do this stuff. I believe in it, and to have these people be able to do that, and we're not, super young and broke and trying to figure things out like I was 15 years ago when I thought I could do this stuff.
yeah.
It's nice to be kind of middle aged, I guess. And hey, let's do it. Let's have have the spirit of someone that's young with the resources and maturity as someone that has been around a little bit. I'm still an idiot. For the record, I don't think I have anything figured out.
I think that's cool though. You're playing in Seattle, you're playing across the country. I know that you put a record out, it's on Spotify. People can listen to it from anywhere. And they may, hear a song on Spotify. They may even look you up on YouTube and watch a video or something you guys playing in the basement in Cleveland or something like that. But man, nobody experiences music like they do live. So you're really, in a sense, you know, you're putting it out there, in another spot of the world. You're almost you're traveling salesman at this point, like you're going to a new set of doors, like all the way over there, and
Yeah,
prophesizing,
I like
you
that.
know, and I mean it's got to be a great feeling.
To me, it's I've been I just finished one book and started another about the music the music biz, the show biz, and the one I just finished is called How to Make Six Figures in the Music Industry. They didn't this is 10, 15 years ago. It's honestly so outdated in a lot of ways, but lots of little nuggets in there. And one of the things that I read was just this marketing stuff. You either the modern world, it's okay, fuck this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to like have to post stuff and do. It's like this is an extension of your art. If you don't get your art to the people, it doesn't matter. It just, your mom will love it, maybe. um but she'll tell you she does regardless. But yeah, I mean, to me, something clicked where I was like, this is, as long as you stay sincere and true and genuine to what you're doing, I'm not doing anything that makes me uncomfortable to do, except trying to share our music and the story behind it, and the everyday grind of trying to get it out there to more people, and people love to see the struggle and the roots of stuff. So, it's something that, yeah, to go out to Seattle and, oh, these guys are from Ohio. Who knows? They might think we're like children of the corn or some
Uh,
hillbillies. I certainly, you know, I think we're the hillbillies growing up in my neighborhood for sure. If there was hillbillies in the neighborhood, but people have a lot of ideas about Ohio, so it'll be cool to be kind of mysterious for once.
yeah, but you got that universal language though that'll bring you all together.
Yeah,
Music.
I think I met a lot of people that have influenced me in a conscious and subconscious way, and I think I always tried to be I'm a man of the people. My dad was talking to people at the gas station. Like I don't care who they are. You can connect with someone. Sit down next to a homeless guy on the street. You can connect to him if you need to. And yeah, I mean, it's so cool. I get to do it in a way that people will actually pay to come see, and it'll be an exciting part of their week to come out and yeah, let's have a conversation because it can't happen without people there. It's part of the music.
Yeah. Well, Brett, I'm excited because we talked about this before we came on, and you said that you would play a little song for us. I think we might even get Autumn involved here.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're doing this stuff. By the way, man, I think it's cool to everybody wants to connect with people. Even there used to be this barrier where I thought it's us and the audience,
Right.
and to me it's like no, they want I used to tell people if they're nervous about going, it's like nobody's saying I got too many friends. I'm good. I'm not looking for any other friends. So I think it's cool what you're doing because maybe some people don't have it in them to go say hi or have a conversation. And you're just, yeah, these are just people. Everybody,
Yeah.
I never held anyone, respect is one thing, but they put their pants on just like you and me do. They're just people at the end of the day.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I've loved getting out to all these venues, and I go early, and everybody's always so great. Get to talk to people, and I love this opportunity to just share your art, share your music, share your story, your
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. We could all go up,
Yeah,
it's not ever like us versus them. There's enough room for everyone. And you got to kind of go up you can't go up there by yourself. Wherever up is, and that's where I hope we're heading. So,
sure.
oh,
Hi,
this
Autumn.
is the lady Skye.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. Congratulations on everything, on the wedding, on the EP release. So much stuff going on.
No, it was a whole bunch.
It's, it's certainly yeah. She does good. I mean, she's a good yin yang. I'm a kind of a maniac, and she makes sure I smell the coffee, and I make sure she doesn't watch too many episodes of Desperate Housewives or something.
It's true.
Soulmates, that's what I think of you guys.
Yeah, yeah. She's. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better partner and someone to share this stuff with. We played at the wedding. I got her
That was
to.
fun.
We played
Played
like
at your own wedding?
Mhm.
played 5 or 6 songs.
Oh,
I did bigger, but yeah, you got pictures in your wedding dress playing at your wedding. You could show your kid.
that's
I,
awesome. What
it
a
was really,
memory.
it was really special. So yeah, so we'll share a song from the album. Autumn and I sat and recorded this for I felt a couple months. I think I redid it 3 or 4 times to the point where I hated it, she hated it. We're done with this song, and maybe yeah, 8 months later or something, I showed Tim, our guitarist, and my buddy Evan that I mentioned before, and they're like, "Whoa, what is this?" And it's just about that little red string that yeah, no matter what you do, it's if you're so tied to someone, I think it's a collision course. You got to take the punches when they come, and then believe that if you're supposed to be together, you'll end up together. All right, you ready, baby?
Mhm.
Facing dreams, places we went, facing that little red string at the end. Are we still dead? Are we bending the rules just so we can Let's say we're sorry. I'll ask you, my friend. Did you know that I feel it when you pull away on the other end? On the other end.
I packed my bags, yeah, I moved away, but I'm still talking to your ghost every day. Strike a match, you burn our memories so you can keep on. Replace me. And I'll keep on chasing all of you.
You never told me that zombies would follow behind when I left. I never saw the string trailing behind me wherever I went. Let's say we're sorry. I'll ask you, my friend. Did you know that I feel it when you pull away on the other end? On the other end. I can't let you go. Don't you let me go again. When you start to pull, it hurts my chest. Guess we'll never know if this road we're walking down is the road we'll stay on till we're dead. Guess we'll never know if this life we're living in is the only life we'll ever get. Don't you go away, don't you fucking walk away again. Had to walk away. Why did I let you go again? I can't walk away. You're standing on my dreams again. Standing on my dreams, my empty bed. Standing in my dreams, my empty bed. Standing in my dreams, my empty bed.
That's
Damn,
it.
guys. That was so good. That sounded incredible. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, appreciate it, man. We
Oh, I felt every bit of that.
Thank you.
you know, sometimes you got to go back and remember the beginning of it. Like they start like that. You work in the studio, you work with the band. You know, I remember when we first were working on that and the breakthrough where we're doing the weave and stuff. And yeah, I mean, we haven't played that song and actually sang it like that in a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Man, you gotta. That sounds so good.
Thanks. I'm glad we could. You know, I love that part of music. I wish I could have every person come in a room and just play a naked guitar. You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when you get the whole band, you know, hopefully you try and still capture that moment. We try and have moments like that where, hey, this is just a you know, one person's soul that everybody else is making brighter and illuminating and but at the end of the day, it's all this one one moment in time or snapshot that we're.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It sounds great with the full band too, but gosh, there was something special about that U2. That was just amazing.
I appreciate it, man. I love this woman. I love making music with her, even if I gotta force her to do stuff.
Yeah, something to do.
Well, thanks for forcing her to do this. It was so great. Autumn, thank you. It was really special. I appreciate you sharing it with me. Um,
Yeah.
and thanks, Brett, for being on the show and talking all this time. Like it's been incredible getting to know you and getting to know your
Likewise.
music. And I can't wait to see you guys again live soon.
Oh, we can't wait either, man.
Yeah, very excited.
It's a long road to get here and a long road ahead of us, but it's it's so fun in the moment, and I just like still get pumped. Every show it's the biggest show of our life, every show, and yeah, to connect with people and share it is really special. I'm glad you got something out of it, and I still having the album is so great. If you love the show, if it touches you in some way, you can go listen to it on your own time, anytime. All the stuff that Nashville Vampire Supper Club EP is on all the streaming platforms. We got a handful of songs, that we play off the Muddy Water album under my name, Brett Potts, on all the streaming stuff. We got a bunch of music videos that we had a lot of fun with. Go find us Instagram or Facebook or any of that stuff, SlowGrooveKings. Um, yeah, I mean, we always post about our shows. We always we try and be anywhere we can. Never say no until it doesn't make sense.
Rock on, guys. Keep making music. It's great. I love it.
Thanks so much, man.
My knee-jerk reaction.
Hey, I'm Brett Potts, Slow Groove Kings. This is the Lady Skye, another voice of the Kings. We're here on the Every.Thing.After podcast, and we had so much fun. We're so glad to sit down and talk about the music. So glad to play the music and share it. Got a lot of shows coming up. We're excited to be part of this Cleveland music scene and branch out as much as we can. Um, if you want to come see one of our shows, check our Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. If you want more content of behind the scenes, it's there. Watch this podcast that Robert's doing and get to meet some of these people. And it's I'll support local music and global music. If it makes you feel good, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got music they like that you would never know. So if it's about connecting with people, we're pumped to do it. And the Slow Groove Kings would love to connect with you guys out there, especially through the Nashville Supper Club EP.
All right, word. I'm Billy Trey, the Converse kid, and my ETA
I'm
is
Kevin from Houdini's Code, and my ETA is to make sure Jeff Bezos